time as this.
And welcome to For Such a Time as This round table. We're going to look back at the new the election that just came on in Virginia. Some people are ecstatic, some people are not. We're going to look back at that, again, as always, through a biblical lens. But I have with me as round table tonight the power couple, St. Eric and St. Lisajoy. How are you all?
We're fine. Thank you very much.
Not feeling like a saint, though.
Not feeling like a saint?
No.
Well, you are a saint, though.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter whether you feel like it or not.
Thanks.
We're washed in the blood.
Thank you.
We are a saint. So before we go any further, as always, I want to encourage you to go to our webpage, for such a time as this .today, for such a time as this .today, not .com, not .org, .today. There you can always find our newest material. And you know what? In the coming months, I just want to warn you, it's going to be a lot more important to go to for such a time as this .today, because we're going to upgrade. We are continually upgrading as our supporters continue supporting us financially, and our supporters continue to support us with the views. We probably will not be on this platform much longer. We're going to go to a product that allows us to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. So we are going to continue to spread the good news of For Such a Time as This.
Amen.
Good evening, Chad M. Good evening, Jack. Good evening, Kim. Hello, Kim. Starlene, am I pronouncing that right? Starlene. Kim, where are you from? I think you told us you're from California. I don't remember if that's right. But we're going to look back at the Virginia elections. Some people said it was the blueprint for conservatives to use all around the country. Some people said it was just a blip. What do you think? But what we're going to do is we're going to look back at the issues that were pertinent in this election. What do you guys think? Any strong thoughts? Because we know the two we're looking at is the critical race theory in the public school system, and I believe that issue with the young man who had the dress. Mm-hmm. And we are going to look at that. Did you all know that his mother chimed in on the issue?
Really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
What did she say?
We're going to look at it. The mom said something about the little girl that got raped should have fought harder, something like that. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
Oh my word.
So some crazy foolishness like that. So, but anyway, we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at again the reasons why I believe it turned in Virginia. But let's open up with a clip. I think one of these clips I found did a really good job of describing critical race theory and the Virginia the Virginia school system. Here we go.
What had been planned as a typical school board meeting in Virginia's wealthy Loudoun County this week devolved into pandemonium. With hundreds of parents flooding an auditorium to accuse the school system of teaching their kids that racism in America is structural and systemic, something the school board denies is part of the curriculum. Things got so heated that the board members eventually walked out, leaving the police to deal with the unruly crowd. 2 people left in handcuffs.
This is an unlawful arrest. I have a First Amendment right.
Loudoun County School Board has been roiled for months by accusations that it has embraced critical race theory, a school of thought that maintains that racism is ingrained in U.S. law and institutions, and that legacies of slavery and segregation have created an uneven playing field for Black Americans. The Loudoun school system says it is simply training teachers, the majority of whom are white, to be culturally responsive to serve the county's increasingly diverse student population. population. The tensions in Loudoun echo a larger battle playing out across the country as Americans tackle racial and social injustice in the wake of the police killing of George Floyd last year. The idea that CRT, as it's known, is infiltrating public schools has become a rallying cry for conservatives who, like many in Loudoun, say it is being used to indoctrinate children that America is a racist country.
Critical race theory is anti-white, and it's not American.
Others, however, see it simply as fact.
Would you not teach what happened during World War I or World War II or the American Revolution? No, you wouldn't. We need critical race theory because we need real history.
Proponents of CRT argue there's no evidence it's being taught in most, if any, of America's public schools. Instead, they say, it is being used by conservatives as a catch-all term and a way to push back on schools' efforts to support racial equity, diversity, and inclusion. Several Republican-led states, including Florida, Texas, and Georgia, have enacted new rules to limit teaching about the role of racism in the U.S. But several teachers and education experts worry that rules banning CRT or limiting discussions on racism could have a chilling effect on efforts to teach Black history, including the legacy of slavery and race relations in the U.S.
All right. I thought that was a good clip that actually talked about the critical race theory in Virginia. We'll get back to the point to whereas the Democrats in Virginia said, and their allies in the media said, that's a lie. Critical race theory is not part of the curriculum.
I think it's been in there for a long time.
Of course it has.
And they're just now now we're just standing up and going, wait just a minute.
Of course it has. Of course it has. We're going to, there is a hilarious video of the guy, Senator Scott. Have y'all seen that with the CNN anchor? We'll show you. I'll show you that. So, but anyway, Kim is from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people in Illinois jealous of you people who live in Tennessee.
We have people moving there.
Because we want to go. We want to go to Tennessee. Where did we go whitewater rafting in Tennessee? Where was that? No, that wasn't Jackson. Chattanooga, I think it was.
That's beautiful, Chattanooga.
My son fell out the raft and hurt his knee. I remember that. But yeah, Tennessee is wonderful.
Good memories.
Yeah. So Northern Corruption says do a public records request on curriculum audit for audit your government. Mm-hmm. Well, in Illinois, Northern, they just ignore FICA, not FICA. Pfizer. No.
Pfizer.
No. What do you do when you say, hey, you got to turn over the public records? FOIA. Freedom of Information. They ignore FOIAs in Illinois.
They ignore everything in Illinois.
Straight up ignore. And I said, did they give you a reason? No. But anyway, I digress. So here you have, in Virginia, the state of Virginia teaching that white people are the oppressors and are inherently evil. And you have the minorities who are the oppressed and can't possibly do wrong. I remember there's the lady that we know who had a granddaughter in Illinois here, grandchild who went to public school, was homeschooled, went to public school, within a few weeks came home, it was self-harming.
Oh, wow.
And they want, why? Because I'm white. Because I'm white. This must have been the second grade, 7-year-old child. Because what they were teaching in school, critical race theory, was self-harming at 7 years old, being taught the critical race theory in the second grade. So there you have Virginia. You have Virginia sitting up and saying, I thought that was a really good news synopsis of what's going on. And then we also are aware of the teacher. Remember the teacher that whose video went viral in Loudoun County? Here she is.
Within the last year, I was told in one of my so-called equity trainings that white, Christian, able-bodied females currently have the power in our schools, and that, quote, this has to change. You shut the doors to the public, as well as the emails sent by the superintendent last year reminding me that a dissenting opinion is not allowed, even to be spoken in my personal life, going so far as to send a form to my colleagues and I encouraging us to fill it out. I quit your policies, I quit your trainings, and I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push highly politicized agendas on our most vulnerable constituents, the children.
And so she quit her job. Yeah, that was famous. She quit her job at the school board meeting.
Yeah.
Because she was so sick of what was being pushed in the critical race theory in the classes. And you know here, come on down. We'd love to have you all down here. Where exactly in Tennessee, Kim? Because we may be looking for some hills when things start happening down in Tennessee.
We've talked about it.
We've talked about it. Trust me, we've talked about it, Kim. So again, adding the Christian perspective to this critical race theory thing. Every Christian should be able to look at Ezekiel 18. Ezekiel 18 is the anti-CRT of the Bible. It's as though God was looking down the tunnels of time, saw the foolishness critical race theory, and wrote Ezekiel a long time ago.
Saw Loudoun County.
Loudoun County. Christians should arm themselves with this. Ezekiel 18, 19, and 20. Yet you say, why should not the Son suffer for the iniquity of the Father? When the Son has done what is just and right, and has been careful to observe all my statutes, he shall surely live. The soul who sins shall die. The Son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the Father, nor the Father suffer for the iniquity of the Son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon himself, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself. Now, those are just two verses out of all of Ezekiel 18, because it starts off, the chapter starts off in the beginning saying, well, why are not the Son suffer for the Father? It starts off that way, and God goes through Ezekiel 18 and says, no, the soul that sins shall die. He shall be liable. Now, in Ezekiel 18, we're not talking about your great-grandfather, your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, or some grandfather 200 years ago. We're talking about a son and a father. And if a son and a father, if a son is not culpable or on the hook for what his father has done, heck, his great-great-grand, he's not on the hook. God says, no, the soul that sins shall die. But this critical race theory, and I actually spoke to a guy today who was a reporter, and he wanted, the view of For Such a Time as This, and I said it's a different worldview. It's a different Christian worldview.
Religion.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's what he's talking about, because he actually saw a Catholic priest who was saying a different religion. And I said, I don't know if I can go as far as a different religion, although I see how people say that, and it may be. But it's definitely a different worldview that's not compatible with the Christian worldview.
Not at all.
Not at all, because it's attaching guilt to someone. And we're not even talking about original guilt, Adam and Eve. We're all guilty of that.
Right.
But it's attaching guilt to a person of another's behavior. That's not the scriptures. When you stand before God, it's going to be mano a mano, you and him.
Right.
And he's not going to say, Eric, why didn't you confess what Bob did? Who is Bob? Your great-great-great-grandfather who you didn't know.
Right.
You're guilty for it. That's foolishness.
No.
That's absolute foolishness.
Absolute
That's
nonsense.
that's what critical race theory does. But in so many words, it's a big different worldview. But it goes on. It gets better. Here's clip number 3. These parents at a school board. Here we go.
The
Western culture and values that brought forth Christianity in the founding documents are being called evil and racist.
I'm reminded of the tyranny of communist China, where your money is legally stolen and then used in government schools, not public schools. These are not public schools, these are government schools, like here, to indoctrinate children against their parents.
My child is not oppressed, and don't assume that. As long as you Marxists push your unconstitutional agenda on my child, she will not be returning back to Loudoun County schools.
Yep.
What courage is that? That was a black woman to stand up. My child is not oppressed. Don't say that. Don't say that. What say ye, O wise and...
Gosh, I've said many times throughout the last couple years, if I had a kid in grade school or high school or junior high, I'd pull them out immediately. The masks alone would have done it for me. That would have done it. But I'll tell you something. I have regrets. We had some struggles when my kids were in high school, and one of my kids begged me to homeschool. And being a single parent at that time, I'm like, how can I do that? And I didn't want to do it out of fear. But I look back at some of the things that we, had to encounter and the struggles we had. And I'm like, what if I had done that? What if I had taken that on? Because I had a relative that actually encouraged me, said, you could do it. There's helps available. And my biggest regret is not having done it. So, and now I look at my grandkids and I go, oh boy, this is, I would love to see more homeschooling. If we all stood up and walked out, what would they do?
Yeah, but you know what? The schools that your kids went through are not the schools today. I mean,
they were bad.
Exponential.
No, they were bad. If I
today.
told you stories about some of the things my kids came home with, and now I think about it and I'm like, why didn't I do something? They were bad. They were bad. Okay. And even when I think about when I was in school, I didn't tell my mom half the things. She probably would have pulled me out. Seriously.
So here you have critical race theory. It teaches about white fragility.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Back when we were in high school, do you remember the whole lifeboat thing? The bomb shelter thing?
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that down south.
Oh.
Yeah, we did it up here.
They did that.
What is that?
So it was basically, you have a bomb shelter. You only have room for these many people, and these are the people you have. There's this businessman. There's this one. There's always a handicapped person. There was a older person. Who would you keep? Who would you bring in with you? So basically what you were doing is putting value on each life according to their, what they could do for the group. Or
why would you do that? I don't understand.
It was
basically situational ethics.
It was. It goes even farther than that, because I had a grade school teacher that had a book called Values Clarification. And she would do these things like, well, put your mom on the ceiling, do this, all these crazy things. And my mom
didn't do that down south.
Well, I should have.
Put your mom on the ceiling.
Well, there were all kinds of things in that book, and my mom said, "What are you doing in this class?" I mean, she went to the school.
Put your mom on the ceiling.
Well, it was values clarification, and it was teaching kids to do these mind exercises. In the end, I think they had a purpose to why they were doing it. But one of our Christian singers made a video about Lifeboat. I don't know if you ever seen. I could find it. It was an old.
What did he say? Or she said?
It was a parody.
Oh, okay,
and it basically what they showed is this teacher saying, you have this lifeboat. It was kind of the same thing as a bomb shelter, but the funny thing about it is at the end the kids got the lesson and they threw her out the window. It was kind of a joke on that because it was putting value. And this was before, all the abortion, all that. And you know what happened in the 70s? We said, this is a slippery scale because you're talking about a preborn baby, but it's euthanasia. It's, it's mercy kill. It's all this stuff, which has come to pass.
They were teaching us in our ignorance, we didn't see this, but they were teaching us to make decisions
on life
that only God should be making in the first place. They gave us, geometry has, okay, this is the given, and then you got to prove and what have you. What they were doing is giving us information that was incorrect in the first place. But that was the basis for us trying to make decisions. The fact of the matter is, God is faithful.
Yeah.
He will not put us in those situations in the first place.
But it was meant to undermine the values that were coming to you from home. Yeah. And it's in a place where your parents aren't there to figure it out. My mom didn't know about it. And I think about this. Okay, if we had this in the 70s and 80s, we had it back then.
Yeah.
What if everyone had said, no, we're taking our kids home? Save your...
Well, that's what's starting to happen now, and see what they're doing, because they are not perfect.
Yeah.
They can't create a situation that's going to meet their needs. So what they've got parents who grew up in the 80s, and in some cases 90s, maybe 70s, but they're like, you know what you're doing is wrong. And this is the pushback that's coming.
Well, they're saying that a lot of this happened because of COVID, and because parents, for the first time when they were at home, saw what they were teaching their kids. And so we understand that whenever you start to attach guilt to skin color, white privilege, white guilt, and all this other stuff, but even after the drumming they took in Virginia, look at how the media portrayed what happened in Virginia. Roll tape, Joe.
The enduring power of the culture wars, and the Republicans are better at playing this game because it's essentially white identity politics. That works for Republicans.
Education, which is code for white parents don't like the idea of teaching about race.
These guys have invented a boogeyman about a form of racial hierarchy that you've fantasized into existence that isn't actually taught in schools.
Anything that makes a white parent uncomfortable is critical race theory.
The way that Youngkin harped on race so much as his closing message is potentially motivating to black voters and to anti-racist voters.
He's found a way to launder a pretty racist trope, this idea that we cannot talk about America's history because it hurts my feelings. He's turned that into a campaign.
When this election is over in Virginia, we will know, have we seen the emergence of the Delta variant of Trumpism? Youngkin, same disease, but spreads a lot faster and can get a lot more places.
You have to be willing to vocalize that these Republicans are dangerous.
Okay, so you know what? One thing I want to point out, do you know what their ratings are right now?
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
CNN and MSNBC is at the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah, but I'll be
I
honest
can't
with you, a
stomach
lot of
it.
my families, I have a just be careful. I got a family member who says they can't wait at night to listen to the person that gives them the facts, just the straight facts.
My gosh.
Rachel Maddow.
Oh my
just
gosh.
give straight facts.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to hold my tongue. But anyway, respect your elders. But anyway, that's what they did. Education is now a dog whistle for racism. Youngkin said nothing about race.
No.
It was what he harped on was critical race theory. That's what he harped on. And now they're saying that, well, critical race theory is just simply history. No, it's not. It's a theory.
It absolutely
it's a foolish
is not
theory. But that's the way they
should teach. If they
fashion it.
teach the history truly, then they would be dissolving all the myths around the Republicans and the Democrats.
No, they
and the
can't
history.
do that. They can't
do that because that would undermine their.
They can't do that. They can't do that. But it's just you got to give them credit. You could be talking about the Bears and the Packers game, and some sort of way they're going to end up racism. Some sort of way the racist Packers and the dog whistle Bears, that no matter where you start off, they're going to end with racism. I don't know how they do it.
Do you think
they're masterful at it?
do you think that has started to wear out?
I think so. I hope so.
Well, here's my
I hope
question.
so.
Where's Antifa and BLM now?
I don't know where. Well, I know BLM, they got kicked to the curb. Joe Biden told them they can go jump in the lake. Well, we knew that because
They didn't fight back?
the one head left Black Lives Matter and took her 4 houses with her, remember? In the white neighborhoods. That was the end of BLM.
Yeah. They were useful.
Useful idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were. That's what they were.
They're gone.
They're gone. But remember how they said it doesn't work. They created it out of thin air. That's what one of the talking heads said. Critical race theory is not taught in schools. It's not real. It's just history.
No,
it's not history either.
No, it's not. But here, look at this. I ran across this clip. It was hilarious. Did you ever see the clip with Senator Scott and the lady from CNN?
No. Let's see it.
Hilarious.
Glenn Youngkin won his race because he talked about issues, and I think that's what's going to happen. What we're going to see is just like in Virginia, Terry McAuliffe wanted to say, "Oh, there was nothing about critical race theory." We know it's true. Parents know their kids are being indoctrinated with critical race theory in Virginia, and the Democrats wanted to deny it.
And so it's not in the curriculum.
Showed up because they don't like being lied to.
Just to be clear, it's not in the curriculum. In Virginia. Just to be...
Brianna, would you like me to... Here, let me just read you a few things. In 2015, while Terry McAuliffe was governor, the Virginia Department of Education promoted incorporating a critical race theory lens in education. You can still find it on the Department of Education's website. Still there. In February 2019, a superintendent memo for the Virginia Department of Education promoted critical race theory and the idea of white fragility.
It's not part of the curriculum.
Yesterday. It's still there,
I do want to ask you, just to be clear about
Brianna,
where you are.
Let's all agree. They were trying to indoctrinate kids. Terry McAuliffe denied it. It's still on the website. This is happening. And I hope Democrats continue to say it's not happening because parents are dumb. They can see it.
I mean, as he's reading what's on the website, since Terry McAuliffe was the governor, she keeps saying it's not part of the curriculum. He says, wait, he takes his glasses off. It's on the website, lady.
I saw it yesterday.
I saw it yesterday. What are you talking
Not last
about?
year.
What are you
not last
about?
week.
Wait.
Yesterday.
Did you see her face?
Yeah.
I mean, she had no, he's like, what are you talking about?
But we're talking about the same people that when you put CDC things out there, they take you down off because that's lies. I'm like, it's off of your own website.
The woman. How do you deal with that? How do you even deal with someone like that?
Here's the thing: if you and I were both Packer fans, okay, no offense to the factors.
That's a long shot.
Sure. But if you and I were Packer fans, talking about the Bears, we wouldn't need facts and figures to illustrate our point. But if you have a Bear fan, you can't just say that, especially if you get a Bear fan that has some facts and figures. You have to fight fire with fire. You can't fight fire
unless
with water.
you are a CNN anchor. All you have to just keep doing is keep talking the talking points. It's not part of the curriculum.
But see, that's what happens when you try to put a Republican that knows their stuff on CNN or MSNBC. Because how many Republicans were in that conversation with MSNBC? With,
I don't think they had any.
No. Right. So
they don't have dissenting views.
But can I just say this on behalf of the United States of America real quick? How many people are looking at MSNBC?
No, that's what I said.
How many people are looking at CNN?
No.
Okay, now here's my next question. How many people are now going to those school board meetings, which were like...
I think they're afraid now.
No, there's more people going to those. They're on the...
No, I think the liberals...
They should be.
With the critical race theory...
They should be.
I don't know. I
never
words. Underestimate the far left's resiliency to their lies. I never underestimate it.
I got 3 words.
They double down, man.
I got 3 words. Ready? We the people. You don't wake up a sleeping giant. They did.
I hope you are right. I'm telling you, I got too many cousins.
Well, I got
No, I have
family.
We got family.
I have family.
But see, but wait, here's the thing. We don't also watch the mainstream. We watch other alternative things, and what we're seeing is.
Wait, no, I'm making
like
my
that
face
for?
about the fact that he's talking about his cousins.
Yeah,
I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very familiar with MSNBC and CNN. So that's why I say we the people, because sometimes if you're right will eventually win out, even if somebody has to fall. Because if somebody falls, either two things are going to happen. Either everybody else is going to say, oh, he fell, let's run. Or they're going to say, oh, he fell, now they're going to get it.
Remember, I told you guys this. Everybody's not like Illinois. Down in New Orleans, they never wore masks. In my part of my sister's part of the city, she said she walked in at the height of the pandemic with a mask on, her and her son, to a barbershop. And they all looked at her with no mask like she had two heads. She had to take off her mask in the middle of the pandemic. She said, James, Mayor Cantrell said you got to show like a vaccine passport to go to restaurants. She said, not in the black parts of New Orleans, in New Orleans East. She said, they laugh at you. Ain't nobody asking for nothing. They ain't even wear masks at the height of the pandemic, please. They're not paying attention to that woman. And so you have it to where now LSU bagged down. They said, okay, the state said, okay, you don't have to show any vaccine passports to go to the Saints games or LSU games. The COVID numbers are better. Ain't no COVID numbers. People stop going to the games. They stop going to your restaurants. You're losing money. And the state of Louisiana and Baton Rouge held funding to New Orleans until they stopped their foolishness. And you know what happens, who controls the purse strings. But anyway, and that's what I'm saying. Some parts of the city, the country, like Texas and Florida, man, they ain't been playing that stuff. When I went to Iowa for the last few months, man, please, mask? Are you crazy? I don't want no mask in Iowa. I don't do none of that stuff in Iowa.
Where's the first place we went that didn't have masks? Was it Wisconsin or was it somewhere else? We went to Wisconsin. I know we went to Wisconsin.
Oh, it's Lake Geneva.
Yeah, and you could tell who was from Wisconsin
and who was from Chicago,
Illinois.
Yeah,
because
all the Illinoisans had
on masks, and everybody from.
I like to call them face diapers.
Yeah, but
we digress. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me just say, from March of 2020 to now, I have seen anybody inside or outside that stopped breathing or had problems breathing because of them catching something or the air or anything else. Because if I had, I would have kept a mask on.
I got you.
Yep.
But critical race theory, that's what Youngkin campaigned on. That's what he focused on. He told the parents, you are right. We shouldn't have been teaching our kids inherent racism. Critical race theory is designed to split us up, and that's why you have even black parents standing up saying, no, I'm not oppressed. Stop telling me I'm oppressed. I saw a meme, and I'm going to start using this with all my cousins and stuff. There's this black dude, and I think he's right. He says, in order to believe in white supremacy, you must first believe in black inferiority. And I'm like,
that's good.
I've been trying to say that though. Remember, I said that at the founders thing, Eric, and I said no.
Yes.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to give you that much power.
You said that several times.
I'm not going to give you that much power. I don't think that I'm inferior, so I don't care about your white supremacy. But he put it in a way which is very succinct. I might have to jack that up. I might have to steal that. In order to believe in white supremacy, you must first believe in black superiority. But as a believer, when it comes to critical race theory and oppressors and the oppressed, and somehow white people need to pay for the sins of their forefathers, yet you say, why should not the son suffer for the iniquity of the father? Every Christian should know Ezekiel 18. every Christian should know Ezekiel 18. Look at verse 20. The soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father. Critical race theory goes exactly against that. And we should never, ever, ever as Christians embrace that. And I believe any church who embraces critical race theory has moved from the realm of a church to an organization that meets on Sunday morning, because you've just adopted something that true Bible-believing Christians cannot accept. That was the first theory. I'm sorry. That was the first issue that got the Democrats whooped in Virginia.
And the second one took them all the way down.
And the second one, I think, is as heinous as critical race theory is. I think the second one was worse. This was, I mean, pure evil. Tell us about it, Jesse.
Another Fox News alert. Moments ago, more outraged parents came forward in Loudoun County, Virginia, lashing out at the school board over a bombshell story that broke this week. According to that story, a father named Scott Smith is alleging the school covered up the rape of his 9th grade daughter after she was sexually assaulted in the ladies' room by a boy wearing a skirt. Video of Smith went viral back in June. He was arrested for confronting the school superintendent, a man named Scott Ziegler. Now, look at what's happening tonight.
When is Dr. Ziegler and this board going to be held accountable? What did you think was going to happen when you pushed porn into the classrooms and into the libraries and let boys into the girls' bathrooms?
There's something seriously wrong with a system that prioritizes reporting a rape internally to the superintendent so that they can control the narrative instead of calling the police.
Hiding evidence from every parent in LCPS about a heinous sexual assault of a student that occurred in a bathroom so you could pass radical policy 8040 is more important to you than protecting the dignity and safety of our children against the likelihood of a repeat occurrence.
Wow.
They covered up the rape of a child because they wanted to pass legislation that was pro-LGBTQ, and they wanted the policy of putting males, or as they put it, transgender females. If you got the male plumbing, you're a male. They wanted to put males into locker rooms and bathrooms of females. And the superintendent, the reason why you see the anger, and we'll see this in the clip coming up, the superintendent lied and said he was not aware. He was not aware of any incidences because that was brought up. What had happened was when they found out about this young lady, they transferred that boy from one school to another within the district.
And it happened again.
Yeah, he knew it. And it happened again. Heck yeah, he knew it. He was lying through his teeth. He knew it because they had already transferred the boy.
Well, and they endangered the girls at that school.
And he did it again. He did it again. And they kept the father from the meeting in which they passed it.
They arrested him.
They arrested him, and they fixed a restraining order or something, I think, to the point where he could not go and testify and tell them that he's lying. No, there are incidences going on. Here's the second clip. Here's the clip.
So it looks like, according to this Daily Wire report, which did a very good job here, Dana, was that a boy put a skirt on and exploited the Loudoun County School District's transgender locker room bathroom policy, allegedly sexually assaulted viciously this 9th grade girl, and the father was outraged by this, and they made him, I guess, the face of these parents who are so-called domestic terrorists because he tried to confront the school superintendent about this guy named Ziegler, and Ziegler, the school superintendent, lied and said nothing happened. Take it from there.
Jesse, this story is one of the most outrageous things I've ever heard happening with a school district like this. Scott Smith and his family have been put through a living hell by the Loudoun County School Board. They've been put through a living hell by the surrogates, the Chardonnay Antifa, because not only, Jesse, not only was this man, this freshman girl, was she raped in a bathroom. I mean, you have multiple counts of forcible sodomy. Not only did this happen, but the school was going to handle it internally, but the family ended up pressing charges. The school surreptitiously transferred this male, identifies as a male, identifies as gender fluid, is a male. They surreptitiously transferred him to a different school where he also sexually assaulted another girl. That also took place because Loudoun County School Board would rather sacrifice girls and their innocence at the altar of political correctness, and they would rather accommodate progressive male desires than actually protect the innocence of our women. I'm going to tell you what, if parents don't take to the streets with torches and pitchforks, women sure as hell will, because this is an attack on our girls. It's an attack on our kids. You want to know who the real domestic terrorists are? It's these school boards, and it's people like Merrick Garland terrorizing parents, Jesse, and actually saying that they're domestic terrorists because they're trying to protect their kids who had been raped. And also, Jesse, just to add, you had mentioned this school board superintendent who had said he lied about this. He had said that there were 0 attacks in the school bathrooms that had taken place.
Yep. And he flat out lied.
Wow.
Straight lie.
He flat out lied. He's a liar. And think about this. That dude that was fighting, that was being restrained, this was a father whose daughter had just been raped. And he was simply going there. He was going there. He said, I saw in an interview, he was going to listen, but at some point, I thought he said he may want to speak. They didn't want that.
Of course not.
They didn't want that.
Ruins their narrative.
This dude was his daughter.
Listen.
Woo.
You know, okay. Can I get? I have a couple of points of clarification.
Yeah.
Okay. Rape is a big word, and the reason I say it's a big word, it covers sexual assault all the way to a word that I heard that is applicable in this situation, which is sodomy.
Yep.
Okay.
He sodomized the girl.
So can I be clear here? That person who had on a skirt didn't sexually, sometimes some words are too soft, too PC. This little girl was sodomized, and they tried to cover it. We've got a sodomy that happened. We've got a school superintendent, not a teacher assistant, not a teacher, not an assistant principal, not a principal, the superintendent of the school district who lied. Guess what happened? We the people showed up because they realized that could have been their daughter.
Yeah.
This has to stop.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Democrat.
Yeah, but the Democrats didn't win. The Democrats who are lying, they didn't win.
Look. I almost hate to do this, but I want to show you this because I'm showing just how heinous things can get. And before I even start down this road, just remember this saying: the fruit does not fall too far
from the tree.
From the tree. Here you have an article. Mom of skirt-wearing boy who sexually assaulted the teen in the bathroom berates victim and defends her son. So I'm going to read just a little bit of it, just a little bit. Or maybe the whole thing, I don't know. We'll see. The mother of the boy who has garnered national media after he wore a skirt into a non-binary bathroom at a Virginia school and sexually assaulted a young girl.
Non-binary.
Yeah. That's part of why I think they're
defending it because it's not just the girls' room.
But he's in the bathroom.
They
Virginia
allowed
school.
him in.
and sexually assaulted, because I think that's the policy they were pushing.
They're pushing
anyway. Assaulted a young girl has spoken out for the first time publicly. Unfortunately, the mother's words, much like her son's actions, were vicious. She said her son just quote, wanted sex, close quote, and berated the victim, stating, quote, "You're 15. You can reasonably defend yourself," close quote. The mother, who currently remained unnamed, I don't know why, you should have named her. She's going to sit up and say this junk. You should have put a name in that. But anyway, the mother, who currently remains unnamed, defended her son, telling the Daily Mail that her 15-year-old son is non-transgender, identifies as male, and simply, quote, wanted sex, close quote. After her son raped the female student, a local judge found him guilty of the sexual assault that occurred in May. Quote, he's a 15-year-old boy that wanted to have sex in the bathroom with someone that was willing, close quote, said the mother.
That doesn't sound like
quote,
willing to me.
I know, mother, quote, and they're twisting this just enough to make it a political hot button issue, close quote. As for wearing a skirt during the assault, the mother did admit her son is deeply troubled, but was only wearing a skirt that particular day because he has an androgynous style. Whatever. The mother continued, he would wear a skirt one day, and then the next day he would wear jeans and a t-shirt, a polo, or hoodie. He's just trying to find himself, and that involved all kinds of styles. I believe he was doing it because it gave him attention he desperately needed and sought. The male student was placed under electronic surveillance, was placed in another high school, and then sexually attacked another female student at the second, Loudon. That's it. I knew I wasn't London. Loudoun County High School. Nonetheless, the mother continued to defend her son, claiming the sexual attack in the bathroom was a misunderstanding.
Oh my gosh.
According to how the son described the scenario to her, his mother said the two had met early in the day because the female wasn't feeling well that day. He was worried about her, asked her how she was feeling, touched her forehead, and brought her for water. The mother claimed the two discussed having sex. Later on in the day, he mentioned something about hooking up with her, said they discussed it that day, and that she was wishy-washy, was like, yeah, maybe I still don't feel well. We'll see. She said her son told her later in the day when the girl was feeling much better, they would meet to have. The mother claims that the rape was an, quote, accident, close quote, because
what was it? Oops.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I don't want to read that.
That's terrible.
It was an accident because he did not mean. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to go. He didn't mean to go in the butthole. The mother then brought into question the female student's account of the attack. If I was in a position where I was about to be raped, the mother said, I would be screaming, kicking, everything. You're 15. You can reasonably defend yourself. You're not just going to sit there and take it. And so because there wasn't a presence of a fight, he felt it was okay and kept going. That's his crazy mother. His mother's crazy. You now see where the boy gets it. The mom is out off her rocker.
Okay, wait, hold on. Time out. I'm sorry. I don't care what mama said. Take that boy to jail.
Yeah.
Period. And she can, she can say anything she wants.
Yeah.
She can utilize her First Amendment
rights.
But
he's 15. He's 15. So the
he's
judge
going to somebody's jail.
No, he did not. He's under surveillance, electronic surveillance.
Okay, so you're telling me he was in surveillance the second time he did this?
No. I think after the judge just found him guilty in May, and so it
How
seems
old
like
is
right
he?
now 15. He's 15. So, but it's a Jones right. It's a breakdown in society. I just but again, you have the school board. See, after reading that, they need to sue the school board members.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Individually.
Yeah.
Individually. And when that got out, I think, I forget which one you said it. I think you may have said it, Eric. When that got out, they don't care about Democrat or Republican.
No.
The fact that that happened to that young woman and that school board.
Right.
That school board tried to first handle it internally.
No.
Because they wanted to pass. And why did they want to do that? They wanted to pass a pro-LGBTQ policy in the school, lying that nothing had happened. Now, I just want to let y'all know, in Illinois, the same thing happened, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When I went to, what was that? Schaumburg?
No, it was.
I thought it was Palatine.
It was.
No, it wasn't Palatine.
Well, was the meeting over at Schaumburg High School?
Was it at Palatine?
I think it was.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Or Palatine.
Because they had some of the sports guys stand up and
they had a guy from Lake Forest stood up, and he actually spoke in front of the school board.
A high school boy, right?
High school senior, I think he was a senior. And he said, you guys keep saying nothing happened. I'm telling you, at Lake Forest, a transgender boy assaulted a girl in the bathroom at Lake Forest High School. He said it. They didn't stop them.
They didn't care.
See,
it didn't stop them.
See, that's an agenda.
This is evil.
It is evil. It is by definition. It's sin.
Yeah, but
this is past political.
This does something to me. I mean, if my child,
exactly,
James would be in jail. I'm not playing. If it wasn't for Christ. Man. No, somebody got to pay. Somebody got to pay. And that I'm not saying that's right, people. I didn't say that was right. I'm not saying it's godly. I'm just saying this is crazy. This is crazy. But this is evil. This is evil. What's that?
Your screen is still.
What do you mean it's still? We're off.
No, I'm just okay. Now you look so.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We thought some technical difficulties. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's just evil. And when the evil got out, I think a lot of Democrats pulled the lever for Youngkin, and they lost. And I think Scott is right. You know what? I want to play. Which one was Scott? I want to play Scott again.
Rick Scott.
Rick Scott. I just want to, and he's right. I hope you Democrats keep saying that it ain't real. Keep telling the parents they're stupid. Keep doing it.
So so they're looking.
Keep doing it.
They're looking at TV. If they're Democrats, they're looking at the TV, and they're seeing this senator say, "I saw it yesterday."
I'm going to add another thing. I saw a clip. Who was Youngkin going against?
McAuliffe.
Okay. So they showed a sheriff asking him a question about defunding the police. And he wouldn't answer the question. He goes, you've supported people that said defund. He goes, you know my record. I'm not going to even qualify with an answer. He goes, that was another one.
McAuliffe, yeah.
Yeah.
They took, they're taking all the positions that absolutely is going to, I personally think that they're trying to destroy the country.
Yeah.
And they're doing,
I agree.
What person would shut down a perfectly good functioning pipeline in the middle of an energy crisis?
Right.
And they were like, oh, this doesn't make sense. No, it makes perfect sense. If you're an agent of China.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I don't care. If you're an agent of China, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Let's shut this puppy down as much as possible. But I want to play Senator Rick Scott again. Here's what just look at. Just look at her face. You can't reason with these people. Look at this.
Glenn Youngkin won his race because he talked about issues, and I think that's what's going to happen. What we're going to see is just like in Virginia, Terry McAuliffe wanted to say, "Oh, there was nothing about critical race theory." We know it's true. Parents know their kids are being indoctrinated with critical race theory in Virginia, and the Democrats wanted to deny it. And so
well, it's not in the curriculum.
Showed up because they don't like being lied to.
Just to be clear, it's not in the curriculum in Virginia. Just to be.
Brianna, would you like me to here? Let me just read you a few things. In 2015, while Terry McAuliffe was governor, the Virginia Department of Education promoted incorporating a critical race theory lens in education. You can still find it on the Department of Education's website. Still there. In February 2019, a superintendent memo for the Virginia Department of Education promoted critical race theory and the idea of white fragility.
It's not part of the curriculum.
Yesterday. It's still there,
I do want to ask you, just to be clear about
Brianna,
where you are.
Let's all agree. They were trying to indoctrinate kids. Terry McAuliffe denied it. It's still on the website. This is happening. And I hope Democrats continue to say it's not happening because parents are dumb. They can see it.
Okay, you guys, I really need to say this. For all of the audience and your families and people that listen to you, you realize something. When you see that exchange and you see the reporter, and this is everybody on TV, everybody that's on camera, no matter what network you're looking for, they have an earpiece where they are listening to someone talk to them. And they were telling Brianna, say this or say that. She was not looking at a piece of paper. They were telling her what to say because the narrative was off the rails. Just saying.
Yep. She wasn't reacting to a word he was saying.
No, because
she had her talking point.
She had the talking points, and they were talking to her because they were losing that conversation. So they were simply saying, "Well, say this," and she did. But Rick Scott was on the case.
The only thing, I guess, to have a reprieve in this country that we can ask is, you know what? I think Rick Scott is right. Just keep saying this. Yeah, keep saying the sky is green. Yeah, keep saying it. Keep saying grass is red. Yeah, keep saying the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Keep saying it. Keep saying it, Democrats. Keep saying it, left. Keep saying it, CNN. I mean, they've gotten to the point where I really don't think, I think they've lost the ability to just be truthful.
They've never been truthful.
But they're at least good at it. Walter Cronkite was good at it. I mean, he was good. Yeah, they were good. Mike Wallace was good at it, even though his son is not as good as
not close.
But
no, but a lot of people are waking up.
I hope so. I mean, I think maybe they've gone too far. I don't know. I don't know. So let's hope they keep saying
the tide is turning.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. I'm not as optimistic as you are, I think, but I hope so.
Well, that's because we don't watch what you watch.
It doesn't matter about watching.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not at all. Here's what I'll say, like Lisajoy. Here's what I'll say. Are they still giving Planned Parenthood hundreds of millions of dollars? Democrats and Republicans? Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah, and you know why?
They are.
You know why?
It doesn't matter. It's evil.
Because they are not people of principle.
Democrats or Republicans. That's my point.
Exactly.
So how are we going to turn around when they both snakes?
Because the truth is coming out of stuff just like you just said.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
But it does matter what we're perspective or what we watch it. When you put things in, you see what we have been programmed by all these things. So if you turn off the TV, you don't know what's going on, but some of that stuff isn't even real.
Here's my thing. Even if I turn off the TV, is the border still porous?
Yes.
Yeah. Is inflation taking off?
But wait.
Yes.
But the people that we look at on mainstream TV are not even saying the border is porous. They're not even saying how bad it is. And it is crazy bad to the point that the people who are right there, the people who own land near the border, they are doing what they can to protect themselves and their land.
I know kids can't even go outside and play in some neighborhoods.
No, because somebody will just walk on their property.
Yeah.
No, they're not talking about that.
They're talking about the things they want you to think about.
I hear you.
Yep.
All right, thank you all. Joan, thank you. Done on purpose transgender is not allowed in China. Yeah, it's not allowed. It's not allowed in the Middle East.
What?
Transgenders. Muslim countries, Russia, China. I think only in Western cultures transgender is taking place.
And in
right?
turn, they're looking at us like we're crazy.
Of course they are. Of course they are. They say Americans don't know the difference between boys and girls. We don't fear them anymore.
Right. Hello.
So all right, thank you all for tuning in. Kim, we may take you up on that in Tennessee there. Nashville, near Kentucky.
She's northwest of Nashville.
Northwest, seems like northwest suburb of Kentucky northwest suburb of Nashville near Kentucky. But there's no hills there, huh? We need hills. We need hills, Kim.
They're hills.
She said there's...
No, she said she's not.
Oh, big mountains. Maybe they got hills.
Yeah,
they got
some big hills, but no mountains. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, Kim. If you're in Chicago, you let us know. Hey, thank you for listening. God bless. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
Bye.